today's Gospel, Luke shows us the visitation of Mary to her cousin Elizabeth, a beautiful story that invites us to reflect on two situations. First, the life of Elizabeth and Zachariah. Second, what is happening to Mary. Zachariah and Elizabeth were two just people in advanced age who had not had the opportunity of being blessed with a child. Despite they were not blessed with a child in their youth, which it was considered a curse, they kept faithful to God, fulfilled the commitments, and offered sacrifices to God. But one day they were surprised by the Holy Spirit, and Elizabeth got pregnant. The lives of Zachariah and Elizabeth remind me about an experience from my childhood. When I was 10 years old, I liked to go to McDonald's for my birthday. But in my country, McDonald's is not an affordable place like in the US. So I only could go to McDonald's on my birthday. On my 9th birthday, I was waiting for my dad after his job to go to McDonald's, but my dad didn't arrive. I was very angry because he had forgotten to take me to McDonald's, and I didn't talk with my dad for almost 2 weeks because I was very spoiled. 2 weeks after my birthday, my older brother came home with 2 tickets to watch a soccer game where my favorite soccer player, El Pibe Valderrama, would be playing, and I was so excited for that game. When I was on the game, something strange happened. During the break, a person from the security called us to go to a room inside the stadium. So we went and we opened the door of that room. And I was surprised because I saw El Pibe de Valderrama seated in a chair with a soccer ball waiting to share 5 minutes with me. I was the happiest child in the world because I had fulfilled my dream of being with El Pibe Valderrama. After this surprise, when I was going back home with my brother, I asked him about how he had gotten the tickets to the soccer game. He told me that my dad had been working more hours for almost 3 weeks to get the tickets and those 5 minutes with El Pibe Valderrama. I felt very bad because I was very rude with my dad, and I didn't understand that my dad had a better plan for me in the future. This is why I compared my childhood experience with Zachariah and Elizabeth. They were faithful to God, and God rewarded them with a child in their old age. God had a better plan for them. They persevered in fidelity to God. We have the same situation now with Mary, a young virgin who was waiting to get married with Joseph. But one day, an angel came and told her, "You are going to have a child by the grace of the Holy Spirit." In some way, it's good to know that God has a plan for you. But in other way, this situation had a difficult implication for Mary, because socially she could be accused of adultery for being pregnant without having been married. She decided to say yes, trusting God, and keep faithful to His will. She decided to assume this task given by God, and she trusted and abandoned her life in God's hands. The two experiences from Mary and Elizabeth are examples of trust and fidelity to God. We lost our faith and trust in God sometimes because we don't get what we want and when we want. And it's wrong because the joy of God's plan can be experienced after the challenges and difficulties, like Elizabeth, who felt the grace of God in Mary's visitation. We are invited today to experience the joy of the grace of God in our example of trust and fidelity. I know it's very difficult to trust and bring our lives to God when we suffer and have troubles, but Mary and Elizabeth had troubles too and believed, trusted, and brought their lives in God. After the troubles, they experienced the grace and joy of the Lord for being faithful to God's love.